Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Dana. I normally upload a new video once a week, but since it is December and we're right in the middle of the holidays, as you can tell by my festive apparel today, I have made it my goal to upload a new video every single day until Christmas. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, now is a great time to do so that you can stay on top of all of my new videos. Today I have a tea review, and this one is for Cookie Tea's Almond Cookie. All right, I want to get it steeping so that we can give it lots and lots of time to get its full flavor. So let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, so I got my clear glass mug so we can see the beautiful color of this tea. And then I have my very own brand of metal basket infuser. This year, my biggest goal was to start my tea business. So I started super small with just this one product, the metal basket infuser, because it's what I use for every cup of tea I make. It's just my ultimate tea go-to because they're sturdy, they're reliable, they're easy to clean. So if you're in need of a reliable, easy way to make lots and lots of cups of tea, you can go ahead and check that link in the description box. Right now it's available on Amazon. And if you do, thanks in advance for helping to support my dream of having my own tea brand one day. So let's go ahead and get our tea in the infuser. I'm just gonna scoop it and let's fill it with our hot water. And now we can set this to the side and check out the loose tea and find out everything we can about cookie tea. So I received this tea in my first Sips by Tea Discovery box. I was saving it. I didn't get around to trying it. And then I received it again when they sent me a cookie tea box. It was like a themed one with all different teas that were themed after different types of cookies. And then I got a third one in my Sips by Advent calendar. So I decided, okay, I can't put this off any longer. Now is the time to try the almond cookie tea. Let's go ahead and read the description. It says, about this tea. This fruit, nut, and spice blend will bring you back to your favorite childhood bakery with its delicious aroma and taste. Indulge in freshly baked almond cookies, just without the calories. A touch of beetroot adds a naturally beautiful and fun pink color when brewed. And we're already starting to see that color. Gorgeous. And the ingredients are apple pieces, almond, cinnamon pieces, flavoring, and beetroot. It smells familiar to me. It smells a lot like a tea that I've had from David's Tea before called Forever Nuts. And I think the ingredients are pretty simple. That was sort of my first thought upon hearing of this tea and reading the ingredients, was the similarities with David's Tea's Forever Nuts. So here's how it looks in the spoon. Lots of nice big chunks. This is a chunky tea. Now let's dump it out onto a plate so we can really get a good look at all the ingredients. So again, mostly big chunks. There are a couple smaller pieces, but for the most part, it is big chunky guys. Okay, apple pieces are the first ingredient, and I definitely see those. That's these kind of wrinkly boys. Apple in teas doesn't normally add a whole lot of flavor. It normally adds more of a sweetness. And it looks like the intention with this tea is to obviously taste like a cookie and not so much like an apple situation. So it probably is in there for the sweetness factor. Almonds, I see some littler pieces, but then I do see some big slivered almonds or sliced almonds. Some nice large pieces. Cinnamon pieces, and here's one of those. The flavoring we obviously won't be able to spot, but then the last ingredient is the beetroot, which are these dark red pieces. And the beetroot is going to add that gorgeous color. So I see a lot of blends like this, to be honest. I've only ever tried the David's Tea one because I really like theirs. Their tea that is comparable to this is called Forever Nuts, and it is their best-selling tea company-wide, or at least it was back when I worked there. It may have changed since, but it's so good. I always would say that it tasted like a cinnamon roll in a cup, and this smells very similar. So I'm kind of expecting to get that same sort of thing. To be honest, I was expecting this to be a little more of like that marzipan vibe because it's almond cookie. And if I was gonna get an almond cookie, I would probably expect more of that like almond extract, like cherry-ish sort of thing. So we'll have to see what we can taste in the tea as opposed to what we can smell. Because in the smell, I get more of like a roasted like Christmas market almond sort of thing and not so much like marzipan or anything like that. So when I go on to Cookie Tea Co.'s Instagram, there actually aren't any posts. It looks like they have a couple followers, but no posts. So I kind of have a theory here. It says tea blends and herbal infusions with delicious aromas and flavors that will bring you back to your favorite childhood bakery. And then I'm gonna click on the website, and that brings us here. And it says that same caption, but then when we click Shop Now, it actually brings us to the Sips by website. So I am kind of confused about this brand. Like, are they a brand or is it just like sort of a collection by Sips by? And it looks like there are only 2 teas on here, and the other one I've tried and I actually really liked. There is the almond cookie, which we're gonna try today, and dark chocolate cookie. Let's click on almond cookie and see what we can find out here. Nothing more than what's on the packaging. It looks like there's actually a little more info on the packaging than there is on here, but I kind of want to look at David's Tea's website and compare their blend. So theirs is called Forever Nuts. I know like the ingredients are mostly the same, but I'm just kind of curious as far as like what the order is of things, like if it's a different order of ingredients, because theirs is described differently. Let's see, apples, almonds, cinnamon, beetroot, artificial sweet roasted almond flavoring, apple pieces, almonds, cinnamon pieces, flavoring, beetroot. So it looks like the only difference is that the beetroot and the flavoring are switched. So it looks like there's probably less beetroot in the Cookie Tea one than in the David's Tea one. And David's Tea specifies artificial sweet roasted almond flavoring, whereas Cookie Tea just says flavoring. It's not specific. And I think Tiesta Tea has one too. So I'm curious what theirs is, even though I haven't tried theirs. So theirs is called Nutty Almond Cream. I remember like I looked in the grocery store at the ingredients and it reminded me of Forever Nuts. So theirs is apple, planed almonds, sliced almonds, cinnamon, beetroot, natural flavoring. So these 3 blends are all the same for the most part. So I am kind of curious how it's going to compare in taste, because I'm really familiar with David's Tea's Forever Nuts. I actually have some. I always keep it on hand just because I love it so much, but I don't know if it's like because I have more, it looks darker, especially because it's like inside this container, but here's how this looks. So obviously they're very similar. If I put them side by side, I probably couldn't tell what's what because they are so similar. It looks like the Cookie Tea might have larger bits of beetroot, but for the most part, it looks pretty much the same. I remember the first time I tried a blend similar to this, I was honestly shocked that a tea could taste like this, like to have that like sweet, like roasted almond, like Christmas almond thing, like having only ever really had like normal teas, I guess, you know, I'd had different flavored things here and there. Like I had tried like a green tea with some kind of fruit. I had tried, you know, just basic things that are pretty much in like the box of tea. So when I was going through my training to work at David's Tea and I tried their almond beetroot tea for the first time, I was like amazed. Like I feel like it really opened my eyes to what tea could be, and it kind of did like help to spark that excitement that I had for learning more about tea. Like knowing that it's just not always like either green tea, black tea, or like herbal tea, like chamomile. You know what I mean? Like I really felt like it tasted like a pink cinnamon roll. It really just kind of blew my mind. So I guess I just want to like put it out there that like the first time I tried this kind of tea, it was like a complete game changer for me. So even though this isn't really completely like new to me, I do just want to make clear that when I first tried this kind of tea, it really changed things for me. Like it was really, really amazing and impressive. So if I don't seem like wowed, you know, and I don't seem super surprised by the taste of this tea, I don't want it to be interpreted as like this isn't a cool tea, because when I've tried things like this before, it has really had an impact on me. So the longer we let it steep, the deeper pink and the more flavorful it'll get. So if you have this tea or a similar tea and are making it at home, I say honestly, let it steep for like an hour, or make it as a latte and have like a beautiful, delicious pink latte. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my infuser out now. Check out the color. I don't know if it's coming across as beautiful on camera as it is in person, but it's such a pretty pink color. It's just like when I hold it up to the light, wow, it's just stunning. So I say let's just go ahead and try it. It's nice and sweet. I guess it is a little bit more cookie-ish than the David's Tea one. It's definitely similar still to the one I've tried before. But it's not as like, I guess appley. The David's Tea one is like more, like they kind of describe it as like an apple crisp sort of vibe. I still think of it as like a cinnamon roll or like roasted almond kind of thing. But this definitely has that like roasted Christmas almond vibe. I'd say it's a little less acidity from the apples though. Like it doesn't really have that apple thing. More like sweetness from the apple than apple flavor, which I like. You really can't go wrong with a blend like this. It's just so comforting and like kind of hearty for a tea. It's like, it's very flavorful, like that almond flavor. It's like roasty in a way that you don't get a lot in like non-caffeinated teas, you know, because there's like oolongs and there's even roasty tasting green teas. But as far as like that roastiness in an herbal tea, almonds, I feel like nutty teas are kind of one of the only sort of ways I can think that you could get like a roasty flavor. I could imagine a cookie tasting like this. Personally, if I was gonna have an almond cookie though, I would want more of that like marzipan sort of vibe, because that's just what I like. But I do think this is an awesome tea. It's not unique, but it's very good, and it would make an amazing latte. And I feel like almond has a couple different ways it can go. It can go like this route where it's like the roasty almonds and it tastes like an almond you would bite into. But then there are other teas that have like that marzipan almond extract, almost like a cherry-like note, and that's their almond. But chances are, in a tea, if almonds are involved, I am going to at least like it, if not love it. And again, if this was my first experience with a tea like this, I feel like this review would be very different. Like if I would have done a review the first time I tried the David's Tea one, I would have had a lot more to say because I had never seen a tea like this or heard of a tea like this before. And it looks like the only way to shop cookie tea is through SipSpy. So if you wanted to try this tea, you could just go to SipSpy and type in almond cookie, or you could type in almond cookie tea, but then you can just sort of shop like a normal online store. I like this tea. I'm glad I finally got around to trying it. It's so comforting. I hope you and your families are all staying safe and healthy. I hope you're having a beautiful holiday season and a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.